Welcome to Hollywood Star Celebrity, where legends never fade. Today, we're diving into the world of 60-plus pop legends of the 80s and 90s. See how your favorite stars look then and now. 2025. Michael Bolton. Born on February 26, 1953, Michael Bolton is now 72 years old in 2025. Known for his powerful voice and heartfelt ballads, he rose to fame in the late 80s and 90s with hits like How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? While primarily a music icon, Bolton has also appeared in a handful of films and TV shows, often playing himself or lending his voice to cameos, most notably in 2.5 Men and the Lonely Island's Jack Sparrow sketch. Once the king of soft rock, today he remains a celebrated figure, aging gracefully with that signature charm. Joey Mcintyre. Born on December 31, 1972, Joey Mcintyre is 52 years old in 2025. He first stole hearts in the late 80s as the youngest member of the boy band New Kids on the Block, known for his youthful charm and smooth vocals. Back then, he was the baby-faced heartthrob of the group. Now, he's embraced a mature, charismatic style that fans still adore. Beyond music, Joey has built an impressive acting resume with appearances in over 30 TV shows and movies, including roles in Boston Public, The Heat, and Return of the Mac, where he played a fictionalized version of himself. Julio Iglesias. Born on September 23, 1943, Julio Iglesias is 81 years old in 2025. With his signature romantic ballads and smooth Latin charm, he became one of the best-selling artists of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Back then, he was known for his suave looks, slicked back hair, and soulful voice that won over millions worldwide. Today, though he stepped away from the spotlight, he remains an icon of timeless elegance. While primarily a music legend, Julio has appeared in a few films and TV specials, around 10 in total, often as himself, showcasing the star power that made him a global sensation. Enrique Iglesias. Born on May 8, 1975, Enrique Iglesias is 50 years old in 2025, bursting onto the scene in the mid-90s with his smoldering looks and romantic pop hits. Enrique quickly became known as the king of Latin pop. With his trademark soulful eyes and laid-back style, he captured hearts around the world. Today, at 50, he still carries that same star power, now with a more mature, refined presence. While music has always been his main focus, Enrique has appeared in a handful of TV shows and movies, including a memorable role in Once Upon a Time in Mexico and guest spots on shows like How I Met Your Mother, showing he's more than just a voice. He's a full entertainer. Richard Marx. Richard Marx, born on September 16, 1963, was a heartthrob of the late 80s and early 90s, known for his signature mullet, soulful ballads, and hits like Right Here Waiting and Endless Summer Nights. Back then, his soft rock anthems and boyish charm made him a staple on both radio and MTV. Now at 61, he's embraced a more polished, mature look, but his voice and passion for music remain as strong as ever. While he's primarily a music icon, Marx has also made appearances in over 10 films and TV shows, often playing himself or contributing to music-related segments. Rick Astley. Rick Astley, born in 1966, became an instant sensation in the late 80s with his deep voice, clean-cut look, and the unforgettable hit Never Gonna Give You Up. With his neatly styled hair and boy-next-door charm, he was the face of synth-pop cool. Fast forward to today, at 59, Rick sports a more refined style, but still brings that same energy to the stage. Plus, he's become a beloved internet icon thanks to the viral Rickrolling trend. Over the years, he's appeared in around 20 movies and TV shows, often in cameos or musical segments that playfully nod to his enduring legacy. Simon Le Bon. Simon Le Bon, born on October 27, 1958, was the charismatic frontman of Duran Duran, known for his edgy fashion, tousled hair, and magnetic stage presence that helped define the look and sound of 80s new wave. Back then, he was the poster boy for stylish rebellion, with a voice that carried hits like Hungry Like the Wolf and Ordinary World to the top of the charts. Now at 66, Simon still performs with the band, rocking a more refined yet effortlessly cool vibe. Over the years, he's made appearances in about a dozen films and TV shows, often in documentaries and music specials that celebrate his lasting influence on pop culture. Bryan Ferry. Bryan Ferry, born on September 26, 1945, was the suave and sophisticated voice behind Roxy Music, known for his sleek suits, cool demeanor, and unmistakable croon. In the 70s and 80s, he embodied art rock elegance, blending fashion and music in a way few others could. Now at 79, Ferry still exudes charm and style, with a more classic, refined presence that reflects his enduring legacy. While his focus has always been music, he's appeared in over a dozen films and TV programs, mostly in documentaries and concert specials that highlight his influence as a pop culture icon. Morten Fry. Morten Fry, the iconic frontman of ABC, lit up the 80s with his slick blonde hair, sharp suits, and smooth, soulful vocals on hits like The Look of Love. Known for his polished, new romantic style, Fry became a symbol of sophisticated pop during the MTV era. These days, at 67, he's traded the flashy fashion for a more classic, refined look, but his presence on stage remains magnetic. Though best known for his music, Fry has also made appearances in over a dozen movies and TV shows, often playing himself or lending his voice to documentaries about the golden age of pop. Morten Harket. Morten Harket, the strikingly handsome lead singer of a-ha, stole hearts in the 80s with his piercing blue eyes, soaring falsetto, and boyish charm, especially in the iconic Take On Me music video. Back then, he was known as much for his model-like looks as for his vocal range. Now at 65, Harket still exudes quiet charisma, with a more mature, rugged style that fans admire. While primarily focused on music, he's also made appearances in around 10 movies and TV shows, including music documentaries and specials celebrating a-ha's legacy. Sting, born Gordon Sumner, first captivated audiences in the late 70s and 80s as the charismatic frontman of The Police, known for his sharp cheekbones, spiky blonde hair, and unmistakable voice. With hits like Every Breath You Take, he quickly became a global pop icon. Now 73, Sting has embraced a more understated, earthy style, but he remains as musically adventurous and physically fit as ever. Beyond music, he's appeared in over 20 movies and TV shows, including dramatic roles and cameos that reflect his artistic versatility. Boy George. Boy George rose to fame in the 80s as the flamboyant frontman of Culture Club, instantly recognizable for his bold makeup, colorful outfits, and androgynous style. With chart-topping hits like Karma Chameleon, he became a symbol of individuality and self-expression. Now at 64, Boy George still embraces his unique fashion sense, though with a more refined and mature twist, and continues to be a strong voice in music and pop culture. Over the years, he has appeared in more than 30 movies and TV shows, including reality series, music documentaries, and even as a coach on The Voice UK. Nick Kershaw. Nick Kershaw burst onto the 80s music scene with his spiky hair, quirky style, and catchy synth-pop hits like Wouldn't It Be Good and The Riddle. Known for his thoughtful lyrics and distinctive voice, he quickly became a staple of the decade's sound. At 67, Kershaw has swapped the eccentric 80s fashion for a more laid-back, timeless look, but he's still active in music, writing, recording, and performing. While his focus has remained on songwriting, he's appeared in around a dozen movies and TV shows, often featured in music retrospectives and pop culture documentaries. Limahl. Back in the 80s, Limahl was instantly recognizable for his trademark two-tone mullet and synth-pop charm as the lead singer of Kajagoogoo, best known for the hit Too Shy. He later found solo success with the dreamy theme from The Neverending Story, cementing his place in pop culture history. These days, at 66, Limahl has swapped his wild hair for a more polished, mature look, but he's still active in music and makes occasional appearances on nostalgic TV specials. Over the years, he's appeared in around 12 film and television projects, often revisiting his iconic era with fans around the world. Holly Johnson. Holly Johnson, born in 1960, became a defining voice of the 80s as the charismatic frontman of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. With his bold style, striking stage presence, and powerhouse vocals on hits like Relax and Two Tribes, he pushed boundaries and helped shape the decade's sound and attitude. Now 65, Holly has embraced a more refined, artistic look, but still carries the same creative energy. While music remains his main focus, he has appeared in about 10 films and TV shows over the years, often reflecting on his groundbreaking career and continued influence in pop culture. Thanks for watching Hollywood Star Celebrity. If you love this trip down memory lane, like, comment, and subscribe for more legendary updates.